Spurs fans, our San Antonio Spurs continue to make history in the NBA playoffs. Playoffs, we got to win a game first. We did win a game last night. What's up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. And what a comeback last night. Our Spurs are the first team in NBA playoff history to be down by more than 15 or more points at halftime and then win the game by 15 or more points. Absolutely incredible comeback by our Spurs. It was amazing. And I want to talk about the elephant in the room first, De'Aaron Fox. He was great last night. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. This is what I was expecting to see in the playoffs. 28 points, 6 boards, 7 assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 65-50, and we'll talk about the free throws in a minute. Disruptive on defense. This is what we wanted, and this is what we got. And do we need 28 points from him every night? No, we don't, because our Spurs are such a balanced team. Anybody can go off in any given night. Last night, it was Wemby and Fox. Game 3, with Wemby out, it was Castle and Harper. What a team. This just feels so much like our last championship team where just so many different guys can step up on any given Sunday. This was very good to see. Only really blemish, I'll say, on Fox's night, 3 turnovers. Considering he had 20 points and 7 assists, that's not horrible. And his free throw shooting's been a little up and down. 2 of 4 last night. I think in his last 2 games, he's shooting 55%. You usually expect your shooting guard to be better from the line, but overall, De'Aaron Fox, love it. And his post-game interview was awesome as well, which is the thumbnail. And let's talk about the man who came back from a concussion. Wemby showed the world last night why he was the first ever unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. 27 points, 12 boards, 3 assists, 4 steals, and 7 blocked shots. What is Portland thinking? There should have been a lot more oh hell no's, as in I'm going in the paint, there's Wemby, I'm going to head right back out. But nope, they challenged Wemby, and a couple times it worked, where credit is due. But 7 blocks, 4 steals, that is incredible. He shot 53, 25, 100. Did have 4 turnovers, so that would probably be the only blemish I'd put on him. But coming back from an injury, and he did look a little bit rusty to start the game, but he did not by the end of the game. And I loved how the Spurs used him. He wasn't out there standing on the perimeter waiting to chuck a 3. It was Lob City taking Wemby's height and using it to their advantage. I know a lot of you say, TSR, Wemby's just not a dunker. I agree, he is not. But why not take advantage of his height and his incredible wingspan and reach? What can he reach? Like almost 10 feet? I don't know what it is. It's a lot. He barely has to jump to dunk, right? Use that to your advantage. And when the Spurs did in the second half, the Blazers had no answer. One thing I want to touch on real quick, I don't know if you saw Wemby's post-game interview. Is it just me or is it kind of weird? He was talking about how the NBA handled the concussion, wasn't a fan, and then his mic went off, and then the video ended. I'm just saying. Let's talk about some other things that happened last night during the game. I'm sure you've seen this. Castle scores, hard foul by Denny, and he says, hey, Denny, your ball. Denny's like, I don't want the ball. We suck. He's like, yeah, you do suck. Both players ended up getting a technical on the play, and I think that was probably the right call by the refs. Just both give him a T, whatever. Listen, Denny said in his postgame that he felt disrespected. Denny, you know you feel disrespected? Blazers fans, after the incredible choke job that the Portland Trail Blazers pulled off last night, how do you be up that much? You're up by 17 at the half, and then you got blown out at the end at home. The disrespect there was the performance your team put on in front of the home crowd. Let's talk about Coach Mitch Johnson. Let's also give credit where credit was due. Clearly made some halftime adjustments, and the Spurs were a completely different team in the second half than they were in the first half. I said it once, I'll say it again. Mitch Johnson should be Coach of the Year. I was talking about how the Spurs outscored the Blazers. The Spurs, with Danny and saying disrespected, the Spurs outscored Portland 73-35 in the second half. I want you to think about that real quick. 73-35. The Spurs were down 58-41, the 17 points I mentioned, at the half. That is a 38-point swing. That is absolutely ridiculous. Scoot Henderson, Remember he was talking trash to Dylan Harper in Game 3? And sure, I'll give you Dylan Harper wasn't fantastic yesterday, but you know who wasn't fantastic? Scoot Henderson, who scored 0 points in 27 minutes, going 0 for 7 from the floor. Scoot Henderson, maybe you should change the Scoot to STFU because that was the wrong thing to do. And he also said he can't wait for Wemby to be back in his post-game interview or something about, yeah, I hope Wemby's there. Well, he's there. How did that work out? I also want to point out that ESPN said during their, Chuck and Shaq and those guys, I think I heard them say the Spurs are 13-0 when they hold their opponent to under 100. Defense still wins championships, and the Spurs are proving that right now. I do think when it's all said and done, Victor Wembanyama is going to win 5 or more Defensive Player of the Years. The only thing that's going to stop him from getting Defensive Player of the Year is going to be voter fatigue. But I'm pretty certain we're going to see Wemby have the all-time record for most DPOYs when it's all said and done. Just a fan. I can't say enough about how great this win was for our Spurs. Backs against the wall, looked like the game was over after the first half, and they dug deep and pulled out a win. And this is the type of thing you need to do in the playoffs. Show that you've been knocked down, you've been punched, you've been hit, you've been kicked, you're down on the ground, you're bleeding, you're hurt. And you get up and you say, give me more. I'm trying to quote Rocky 6, but I don't remember. It's not how hard you get, it's how you can keep getting hit and keep getting up and coming back. Something along those lines. That's what the Spurs did last night. And watching this team in the series, winning Game 3 without Wemby, the way they came back last night, I was like, forget this whole playoff experience nonsense we keep hearing. Oh, the Spurs don't have enough playoff experience, blah, blah, blah. They're ready now. They are ready now. And by the way, I also got to shout out ESPN's the crew, Shaq, Chuck, and them. It was either Shaq or Chuck that said to Darren Fox, so, you and Barnes are the only guys with playoff experience. Way to disrespect NBA champion Luke Kornet. And also Kelly Olynyk has been to, I believe, 2 NBA finals. So there are other players on this team that have playoff experience. Olynyk probably not going to see much time, if any, in this series. Kornet has started the game. So let's not act like nobody on the team has playoff experience. We have 2 former NBA champions. There's vets on the team. The majority of the guys that are playing don't have playoff experience. Your Wembys, your Castles, your Harpers. But Wemby has, I believe, playoff experience overseas and international play. And Stephon Castle is a UConn champion. National champion with UConn. So maybe no NBA playoff experience, but obviously some sort of playoff experience. Let's wrap it up here. Game 5 is tomorrow night in San Antonio. The Spurs can close the series at home with a gentleman's sweep. I said it would go 4-1. I didn't expect the one loss to be because Wemby was injured, but it is what it is. He seems okay now, which is great. And they close it out tomorrow night, and I expect them to. I'll be live for the game tomorrow night. And I like what we did last night. The chat was pretty lit. It was a lot of fun, but I like doing the giveaways. Let's hit a thumbs up goal, do a giveaway, and I'm going to do that again tomorrow night. And you know what? I might do one for the first half and second half. This is a huge game. This could be the first, this will be the first series the Spurs ever win on this channel, a playoff series. And I want to do something special for you guys. You guys have been very generous with super chats, commenting and liking the videos and getting the streams in the algorithm. And I want to give back to you guys. So maybe a first half and second half giveaway. We'll see. Probably. I don't know. But it's been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what happens in round number 2. The Minnesota Timberwolves, if they beat Denver. And I don't think that series is over. Minnie's up 3-1, but they're now without Ant and Dante for the series. The Spurs could be fighting a very wounded Minnesota if they do close out Denver. And that means probably we're going to see OKC in the Western Conference Finals, and I absolutely can't wait for that. We know we can beat them. And they might be like Jalen Williams, too. So, you know what? The Thunder benefited from a lot of injuries last year, did they not, on their playoff run? That might happen to our Spurs now. Who knows? Drop a comment down below, your thoughts about last night. How pumped up are you? If you didn't like De'Aaron Fox, and I want to clarify, I'm not a De'Aaron Fox hater. I like De'Aaron Fox. It's his contract I don't like, but you know what? That's years away. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. The Spurs will figure it out. I have faith that somehow they'll figure it out, whether they move on from him or trade him or expansion or something. They will make it work. I gotta trust the process, right? Let's focus on the now. The Spurs are absolutely fantastic and killing it in the playoffs. Your thoughts on Fox, the team, Wemby's comeback. Curious to your thoughts and how pumped up are you? Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed the video and you want to help support the channel. And subscribe to be a part of our awesome Spurs community. I thank you, and as always, go Spurs go!